A big problem with students when they first start out is that people don't know the difference between console.log and return. So if I say console.log 5, and then I run this, first of all, if I do this, it just says function. Why is it not working? What do I need to do? Huh? Anybody? Pull the trigger. Now it works, and we get a 5. But it console logged the 5, right? So what is very, very, very common, extremely common, is that, first of all, you should understand console.logging is only for developers. It's only when you're working on the code and you want to see what's inside the function. You don't want to ship code with console logs in it. Meaning when you're on the job and it's ready for production, you're working on some code and it's ready to be sent up and actually published on the website, you don't want a bunch of console logs in there. It's unprofessional. Console.log is for you as a developer. It's not for the whole world to be seeing stuff. You'll see it sometimes on websites. I'll go to like Best Buy and other things, and sometimes I'll look in the console, and sometimes there's console logs in there. It's unprofessional. And that didn't happen to me on Best Buy, but I'm just going to look now. Sometimes you go to a big name site like Best Buy, and you look in the console. Yeah, they got console logs in here. This is a stack trace in here, but they had some console logs in here. There was something in here that said something.
Oh, it was right there. Now we know.
Yeah, well, the stack trace is a little different, but anyway, there's stuff in here that only developers really care about. It's not for the general public. In general, you don't want to be console logging. I know my battery's low. I'll switch over. But in general, console.log is to check a value. What you really want to do in a function, if you need to get a value out, is you have to return the value. So I'm going to return 5 here. So it's going to look the same. The undefined is no longer there, though. The reason undefined is that when you call do something, it actually returns a value. So this is console logging out what do something returned. The more important thing I want you to see, though, is you can do something like this. Var number equals do something. And then you can console.log number plus 10. And we get 15. What happened here? What happened is when you return a value, then this, in variables, we have this thing called variable assignment. When you have an equal sign, whatever's on the right-hand side gets dumped into whatever in the left-hand side of the equation. It's not like in algebra. It's not like in math in high school. You have an equal sign, and that means that two things are equal. It's not like that. This means that whatever's on the right gets dumped into whatever's on the left. If this returns a value, then that value gets dumped into this, and then so we can take this and then add it to 10, and we get 15 back.
So that variable is now a function, basically.
This variable is not a function. It is the repository where the return value of the function has been dumped. It's a receiver of some sort.
So how come when it says function do something, parentheses, curly bracket, return 5, how is it, without everything underneath that, you just do something, parentheses, that it returns 5? Just because you told it to? I guess.
Yeah, just because I told it to. We're just returning the number 5. We could return the number that's passed into it. So it's like num, we could just return the num.
Okay.
That's what you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
So we could say we do something 6, and then to see number here, if you console.log number, then you get 6, because number is do something 6. So you pass the 6 in, the 6 is received here, this is an argument, it becomes a parameter, and now we're returning that parameter. And so then now number is the parses of this machine.
Now, if you had var num above that was...
No, don't even ask that question again, because you know that doesn't work.
Okay.
Okay, get that out of your mind. This only comes from what's passed in it. There's a special relationship between quarterback and receiver. Well, I know you don't watch football, but this is from the guy calling, and then the woman answers, right? Call on the phone, and then she answers the phone. Nobody else has her phone number. The only one who can talk to her is the person calling on the phone right here. This is an argument, becomes a parameter. There's only relationship with these two, based on the invocation that's happening here. So now number is stored. The result of this function is stored in number. And here, this console log's number, and you get 6. So we could say number plus 100, and so this will be 106. Now, if we said console.log num, this breaks everything. Because now this function no longer returns a value.
It's just logging it.
Yep. So when you say do something 6, it console log 6, but number is nothing. So number here, the 6 comes out because we console logged it, but it's not being stored in number. Just to be more clear, if we do this, console.log number is plus number. Number is undefined. So we said do something 6, but do something console log. Console log is just like flapping your mouth. It's just talking. It's not returning a real value. It's not returning anything real. So this breaks. It doesn't work. Number is undefined. It says 6 because console.log is talking. But it didn't return anything. All right? So number here is empty. Number here is empty. So that's the difference between console logging and returning. Console log is just talking. Return actually returns a real value.
And you can't put anything after return because it stops there. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. That's actually very, very important. That's very, very important. What happens is that once you say return, then nothing else happens in the function. So that's the other thing actually that we should talk about. Yes, Surinder, you've been doing the reading. So here, if we want to return the REPL is already warning us because we have called unreachable num after return. So you see, after you have a return statement, you can't put anything after a return statement inside of a function. So this one is saying, this is unreachable. The program will never see this. This will be growing cobwebs. This line 6 never gets run because return stops everything in the function and it goes back to the calling thing. So if we just run this now, it says 5. But if we take this and we put it up, now num equals num plus 100, and now we return num. Num has actually been altered and we get 105. So remember, the assignment rule, you take whatever on the right side of the equation and you dump it into the left side. All right, and the last, okay, so that is the difference between return and console log. So return returns something real from the function, and it can be captured in a variable. Whereas console.log is just talking, it just flapping his mouth. It's not doing anything other than telling the developer something. But it's not, console log is not going to give you anything that you need to work with in your program. It's just a way for you to get some information about the state of variables in your program.